Welcome to another episode of Just Talk of Game. I'm here, my sidekick is here.
Here.
And so is our guest. Let's get started. Who do we have today?
Well, today we have on the show, wait for it, your very first agent, Kerri Glenn.
That's cool. She's gone from super agent now to social media manager.
Yep, and she's going to give us all the scoop on how to navigate the wonderful world of social media.
That's going to be cool. But first, before we get started, shout out to our sponsors, Fade Life Clothing and BCK Online.
Yep, Fade Life Clothing is a unique clothing line out of Atlanta, Georgia, geared towards those who love intoxicating style.
And BCK Online is a digital online magazine that keeps you in the know and up to date on the lives of young entertainers, rising stars, parents, and more.
I'm so glad that they both joined us on our journey this season.
All right, grab your snacks, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Kerri, welcome to the show. We are glad that you could join us for an episode of Just Talk of Gabe.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Now, I know our listeners want us to dive right in, so let's get into it.
Okay.
Right. We've already given the audience a brief overview of who you are, but in your own words, who is Kerri Glenn?
Oh boy. I feel like it's always interesting when someone asks you to describe yourself. I would say I'm a Midwesterner who's been by being one of 6 kids who all grew up homeschooled on a farm. So definitely a little abnormal in that regard.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it gave me a lot of advantages in life and drive, both academically and then of course later on in my career. So I'm very appreciative to my roots and kind of who I am, and they made me the way I am, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
It is. And when we first met, you became my very first agent. Tell us how your personal journey started in the entertainment industry.
Oh, well, similar to Paige Parks, of course, your agency owner, my background is actually in apparel design. So I went to LSU for design school and then minored in business. And then after I graduated, I moved to Houston, where a fellow design grad, Devin Sells, actually grew up working with Paige Parks. She modeled there and interned there. And then at the time, she was working for the company. Then she saw on social media that I moved to Houston, and she called me and she was like, "Do you have a job?" And I was like, "No, I just kind of moved here on a whim." So she was like, "Well, I can get you an interview." So I was awesome. So I went in for an interview, and just kind of that's how it all started. So I started with obviously a different position in the company, assistant, and then kind of worked my way up all the way to agent position. So I was very fortunate.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Never heard that story before.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
Yeah. Learn something new.
Now that you've transitioned from agent to social media manager, what was that like? Was it easy to make the transition?
I would say, I think sorry, my dog.
Bark.
Okay.
I would say, bark.
He just wanted to say hi.
They did. They all want to say hello, all bajillion of them. But as I think with any transition, it presents its own set of challenges. But I think going from being an agent, managing over 500 actors, really prepares you to take on almost anything.
Yeah.
So that made it a little bit easier coming from that background for sure.
So tell us about your company. I know the name of your company is Pando Social Media. What can clients and potential clients expect from you?
So we are a full service management company. We handle everything from marketing plans, content creation, daily posts, targeted consumer outreach. They can obviously expect to have follower growth, but more importantly, we really try and design specific plans that are tailored to their specific clientele. So follower growth is awesome, but if they're not followers that are going to buy your product, subscribe to your service, all those good stuff, then it doesn't necessarily benefit you if you're a company. So that's really where we come in as far as kind of really the nitty gritty of what's going to appeal to your specific clientele and then targeting those people for you.
That's neat.
It is. Okay. So social media is an important part of the entertainer's career. As a professional, what are some of the pitfalls that you see people falling into?
Ooh, this is a good one. I would say there's probably 2 big ones. One is not being on social media, and that's underestimating the value of social media. The more and more people are looking at social media, whether it's casting directors, agents, or the clients themselves when they make booking decisions. So if you're not up there, you can easily knock yourself out of the running, even though you might be the best person for the job, but they're not even going to consider you because they don't know you exist, basically. And then secondly, I would say probably oversharing. Especially if more of this would apply for adults, but that would be, more of adult content, whether that's, inappropriate language or, excessively using adult beverages, that type of stuff. I would suggest keeping your social media clean, and something that I would always say, keep it so you can show your grandma. That would be what I would say is appropriate.
Right. What are some of the general things that you recommend people do to increase their engagement?
Consistency with posting is huge. Obviously not everyone can post every single day. I understand that that's maybe not realistic for everyone's schedule. But I suggest, picking a schedule and sticking to it so your followers know what to expect. Maybe that's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Saturday, whatever works for you. Decide on that. Make sure it's something that you can stick to, and then, really work to achieve those goals. Secondly, I would say stories are huge. Instagram, their analytics side is really trying to push that. So the more that you're on there, kind of giving a sneak peek into your personal life, you don't have to have it be as curated of content. That should be more just fun, not the perfect picture every time type stuff, but that'll really boost your engagement. And then lastly, I would say it's social media. So be social. You should be liking and commenting and interacting with your people. Make friends on there. That's kind of the whole point of it. So the more you do that, the more you'll see your own social media grow.
That's good. That's good advice. That's really good advice.
Having an agent background, how do you see the landscape of the industry changing?
Ooh, okay. Well, I've been out of it for a hot minute, but I would say what I've seen, especially with COVID, is that things are definitely moving more towards exclusive taped auditions. So I think you can expect to see, obviously, that sticking around for quite some time. So I would make sure you have a good self-tape setup. And then I've also noticed it seems like there's a lot more actor-created content. So making sure that, if you're in that position, you're able to deliver something that's of a good quality. That's really important as well. If you have those capabilities, it's good to showcase them because it might put you ahead of somebody else. So.
Oh, wow, that's cool. You kind of touched on what I was going to ask a little bit, but if you can maybe expand, what are some of the most important things that people must have in order to be successful in the industry as an actor or an actress?
Well, I would say talent, talent. Obviously, if you want to be a star basketball player, you should probably know how to play basketball pretty well. So that would definitely be the most important thing I would say, is working hard on continually growing as an actor. So that's dedication to constantly training. Like, you should always be learning and really working on improving your skill. I don't think there's a single actor in the famous actors that is probably not training still in some way. Probably, maybe not in group classes with everybody necessarily, but they're still working and learning as well. So if they're doing it, you should definitely be doing that as well. I feel like, take a baseball player, once he makes the major leagues, he doesn't stop practicing,
Right.
He keeps practicing. So you should be doing the same thing with anything that you're pursuing. And then I would say also really important is having really thick skin, because you are going to get told no a million times, and you can't let that affect your mental state and how you go forward with every audition. You have to look at it as a new separate audition and really go at it with your all.
That's true. So, okay, me being 4'7", I'm not destined for the WNBAs. That's what I took away from that.
Exactly. But, you never know. You could grow, right? I believe in you. Don't worry.
What is the one most important thing that you learned as an agent? And what is the most important thing that you learned as a social media manager?
As an agent, I would say being easy to work with opens a lot of doors for your talent, which is true for actors as well. I think that that's something that really in any industry you want to keep in mind. People enjoy working with people that are good to work with. So, be on time, don't be crabby, work hard, all those things, because at the end of the day, if they have a choice, they're going to pick to work with you over somebody who, never responds to them, is, kind of difficult, is moody, all those things. You can give yourself a real advantage by just being pleasurable to work with. So I would say that works with really any field. And as a social media manager, I would say that change is constant and the industry moves so fast. You can't really stick with the same old. So being able to really evolve constantly will really give you an advantage. So, something might work today, but it's probably not going to work tomorrow. So always trying to stay on, ahead of the trends is really what I've had to learn with being a social media manager.
All right.
Good. That's great advice. Yeah. Absolutely.
On that note, we're going to go on a commercial break.
Okay, Kerri, would you stay back for a fun round coming up?
Of course I would.
Okay,
I'm excited.
Well, guys, stay tuned and check out this message from our sponsor.
Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Welcome back, guys. And if you have not downloaded your Anchor.fm app today,
do it
and start making your podcast today.
All right, Kerri, welcome back.
Thanks.
Okay, let's get into the next round of questions.
Fun round.
Yeah. Okay.
Woohoo!
What are 5 things you're excited about right now?
Ooh, this is a good one. All right. We're working on buying a house right now, so that's exciting and of course really stressful. But that's cool. So I will keep y'all posted on that.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks. 2, I would say I'm finally able to chew again after having my wisdom teeth out. So that's pretty awesome. I was definitely tired of eating mushy foods. You can really only eat so much applesauce and mushed up bananas before you're really sick of that. So, and 3, this is super stupid, but I am a huge dental hygiene person, and I got a water flosser and it's amazing. If you don't have one, I would highly recommend getting one because the dentists say they're way better for your teeth than the normal flossing. Ooh. So yeah, cleaner teeth, that's always good. Your dentist will thank you. And I am no way associated with any dental things, so that's just my personal opinion. Fall's getting closer. I'm excited about that. I'm tired of being hot all the time.
102.
Especially, I can't. And especially with COVID, because most restaurants are closed, so they only have patio seating. So I'm I just want it to be cool so I can sit out on a patio and just enjoy food. So I can't wait for that. And number 5, and most importantly, I'm excited to do this interview with you guys. So thanks for having me. Yeah.
What is your favorite city?
Ooh, that would actually have to be Austin, where I live right now. I absolutely love it here. It's really the first place I've lived that I felt like I would be cool with staying. There's so many just unique individuals, and there's a lot of nature everywhere. So of all the numerous cities I've lived, I would definitely pick this one as the best one. And you guys should move here and come see me. That would be awesome.
Yeah. We will definitely have to come see you for sure.
Yes, please do.
Cats or dogs?
Oh, you are such a terrible person for asking this one. It's such a mean question. My dogs are literally sitting here looking at me, and so is my cat. They're waiting for me to answer
They're waiting.
this.
They're you're going to pick me, right?
Yeah, which one? So I am not going to pick either because I love both cats and dogs, and I cannot possibly pick between all of my babies. So I'm sorry, I have to say both.
That's good. That's fair.
That is fair.
That's acceptable.
Yeah. Okay, now you have to pick a decade to travel back in time. Which would it be and why?
I would probably have to say the early 1900s, 1920s. We are currently watching Peaky Blinders right now, which is an awesome show, maybe a little bit more adult, but the costumes are so cool and the accents are awesome. So I would probably say right now, because of what I'm watching on TV, I would pick that decade. So, and then also, who doesn't want to have a flopper dress and shimmy that dress, of course.
I would have to say the 80s. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just an 80s girl.
Yeah. I can definitely see you in that for sure. Suits you very well. Gabe, what would you
What
pick?
would I pick? I honestly don't know. I'd probably, I'd go back to the 90s maybe.
The 90s?
Yeah.
90s?
Like
All right. Be a 90s baby.
Like that's so far ago, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh,
the
gosh.
90s.
It's because I'm old. Oh, no.
Okay. What are the top 5 things on your bucket list?
Ooh, top 5 things. Let's see. I would say grow my company to where I have several employees so I could take more of like a management role and not have to do so much day to day. That would be awesome. So that I could tie in with number 2 on my bucket list, and that would be travel more. And I would just like to say COVID is terrible and canceled all of our trips, so I was very sad this year. 3, and this is silly, but I would say drink. Oh, stop! Sorry. I would say drink more water. I've been like horrible with drinking water my entire life, and I would like that to be something that I just do by naturally instead of having to force myself to. So that's just a personal development wise. And 4 would be grow my own personal social media. So you guys know me. I've always been more of a behind the scenes person. Right. So I've been really pushing myself to put myself in front of the camera a little bit more, agreeing to do stuff like this interview, and then taking more pictures and stuff like that for my own social media manager, because what's a social media manager without their own social media? It doesn't look really good. So I would say work on growing that, and then lastly would be learn to ballroom dance. Ooh. So that's something I would like to do. So Josh actually got my boyfriend actually got me lessons for Christmas, which we just haven't been able to do thanks to COVID. So I'm sure we'll be able to do that sometime. So that is on my
ballroom
bucket list.
dancing. That sounds fun.
Not really.
I feel like you could probably ballroom dance, Tiffany. Can you?
I mean, I can salsa merengue, but that's about it.
Yeah, I knew it. Maybe you could just teach me.
That'll get us up to Austin.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You can only take 5 things to a desert island. What would they be?
Ooh, okay. I would say a helicopter, a pilot, plenty of gasoline, headphones because it's really loud, and then a margarita for the flight so I can get off the desert island.
I'm coming to the desert island with you guys.
Okay, you can come right to me, yes.
What is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
This didn't really happen to me because I guess I chose to do it, but I guess in Hawaii, we took out a boat and we went free swimming with sharks, which was really cool.
Wow.
There was even like a hammerhead swimming around, and I mean, literally you could reach out your hand and touch like, a 8-foot shark or whatever. It was pretty crazy. It was definitely an adrenaline rush for sure. It was pretty incredible. So I would say that's probably one of the craziest things I've done.
So would you do that again?
Maybe if there were like other things like a whale or something, like I would say I don't feel the need to swim with them again because I've already done it. But if it was some sort of other large sea animal that would be cool to swim with, I would say I would do that again. Yeah. If that makes sense. I would say like something like we've gone skydiving, and I would definitely do that again. Just somewhere else would be fun because I think that's something you could vary what you were doing and still make it cool.
Yeah, so. Yeah, no, too many Shark Week stories.
Okay. maybe that's why I did it, because I've never actually watched Shark Week, so maybe I didn't have the fear of it from that.
They would look at me and go, "Hey, it's a snack." Yeah.
It's a perfect snack size, Tiffany. Okay. Gabe, would you do it, you think?
Yeah, I would. I like sharks.
Yeah,
I love
nice.
sharks.
Yeah, he does. He loves sharks, so I'll stand like way far and watch.
You can watch them. Well, I definitely encourage you to do it if you get a chance. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so who are some of your favorite social media influencers that you like follow and check out?
I would have to say, and I'm going to butcher her name because I don't actually know how to say it. Her name is like Valeria Lipovich, something or other.
What a name!
I know, right? I'm sorry, Valeria. I just butchered your name. But she is awesome. She does a lot of like fashion content, but she's a mom of several kids. So she also really features her kids and her husband. She just has a lot of really fun, unique, creative content. So I really like her. And then my second one would be Fashion in Flux, and she just does a lot of different like outfit hacks and tips and tricks and stuff like that. So since I'm into fashion, she's probably one of my other favorite ones.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would you rather move to a new city every month or never leave the city where you were born?
I would rather move to a new city every month. Nothing against where I was born, but I was born in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's a very small town that I have no desire to live in again.
It's cold, right? It snows there, right?
It does. It gets very, very, very cold, like negative
Wow.
15. So I don't do well in cold weather. So yeah, don't really want to go back to that. So it's kind of like Texas is with really long summers. It's very long winters.
Yikes.
So
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do well there either. I'd go visit.
No, like visit. It's great. Like I love to go visit. Love Christmas there because you have the snow and it's really pretty. It feels very Christmassy, but definitely would not want to live
I've
there
never
again.
seen real snow.
Nor have I.
Oh no, you guys will have to come to Nebraska for like a holiday sometime and we can go play in the snow. That would be super fun.
What's the most ridiculous fact you know?
Ooh, okay. So this is an interesting one. So, you know, Guinness, like the beer, the person who founded Guinness actually set up a contract for their like office in Dublin where they're based or originally were based out of. And he did a like, I don't know what it is, like 45 euro per year lease for their building, but he got it for 9,000 years.
Wow.
So his lease was 9,000 years. Can you imagine the confidence that you had in your business to make a 9,000 year lease?
God.
Like, isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. So that's
9,000. Wow. Well, he's going to own that lease forever.
Yeah.
I know, like at such a cheap rate too. So I don't know what the conversion is for that, but I think what's like half of, I don't know what the euro conversion is, but that's pretty cheap. So
awesome.
He's doing well.
I know we touched on this earlier, but what advice would you give to kids and teens out there about how to present themselves on social media?
Okay. I would say show your diversity. Just because you're like an actor, doesn't mean you can't do more things. You know, people want to see your life, so it shouldn't just be headshot, you know, acting tape or, you know, whatever. Get involved with other things. People want to see a well-rounded kid. So whether that's sports or debate or modeling or chess or competitive video games, like I don't know what that is that you're interested in, but find those things and really, you know, dive into those things as well. They'll just give you more inspiration for your acting and make you more well-rounded, and then also give variety to your page, you know. So that's really what I would say is just be diverse. You don't have to just have one thing all the time.
That's good.
So like if you're an actor, you could also have a podcast.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. What is the one thing that you want our audience to know about you?
Oh, okay. I would say this could just be a weird fact, is I once owned 48 cats all at one time. And yes, they all had names and they lived on my porch.
Wow.
So I really like cats.
Wow. 48 cats?
Yes, we had 48 cats. My dad had to buy so much cat food, so sorry, Dad.
Cool.
But to be fair, I will clarify that with I lived on a farm, so it's not like I lived in like the city and they had like a tiny backyard. They had several acres that they could roam around on. I mean, they did all predominantly stay on the porch and like sleep there, but they could go out and about, so they weren't like in my bedroom.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a cat farm.
It's like a cat farm.
It is kind of like a cat farm, yes.
Where can people find you in cyberspace to follow you?
They can find me on Instagram at Kerri, Kerri, period, period, Glenn, Glenn. And then, of course, they can find me on my website at pandosocialmedia.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you guys
we
for
enjoyed
having
you.
Absolutely. I enjoyed, the conversation, the laughs. We'll have to have you back again.
Yes, please do on season 20.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
You'll be having all sorts of famous people, and then it'll be like, and Kerri Glenn, and everyone will be like, who is that? What?
No, they'll be like, oh, she's the social media guru for, and then there you go.
Oh, there we go. I like the way you think.
Well, thanks again for joining us, and we really do wish to you the best on Pando Social Media. Guys, make sure you check Kerri's website out and follow her on Instagram.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
It was great having Kerri Glenn on the show today. Check out her website and give her a follow on social media. And as for me, well, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.